¿Estás preparándote? ¿Te estás preparando para Islam Makhachev?
Yo me estoy preparando para Islam Makhachev, todos mis entrenamientos enfocados para Islam o para Charles, por antes, así que tengo esos dos nombres en que hacen subidas de que un campeón pelea con el que es pequeño, luego cambio de categoría y digo, bueno, soy pequeño, que no he ganado lo suficiente. Bueno, son síntomas de miedo, todos lo sabemos, pero es normal, yo también tendría miedo.
He's going to throw that body. Islam is a southpaw. Yeah, Islam's southpaw,
Yep.
and then I think Ilia Topuria is orthodox. So, you know, Islam's going to throw that body kick, and are we going to see Ilia Topuria catch a kick and actually run for a takedown and start grappling with him? I highly doubt it. I think I agree with you.
And the fact that he's committing to the lightweight, I think that gives him the opportunity to go straight to the title shot. I think him committing to that and vacating the belt.
Makhachev is the guy that has to be beat. So, you know what? If he's the next one to fight him, then so be it. I'm just an employee here. You know what? If he's given the chance and not me, I'm going to keep fighting, I'm going to keep preparing, and I'm going to keep waiting for my turn to come around.
The complications in the lightweight are impossible to solve as it's still uncertain who is going to fight whom. Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier are all standing in the waiting line for a title fight. However, the man who is the most likely to face the champion Islam Makhachev for the belt is Ilia Topuria, who thinks everyone is afraid to fight him. Ilia Topuria has emerged as the top contender to fight Islam. The fans believe that he has the potential to beat him as well. Although there is still no announcement about their fight, Topuria has already started to play his mind games. The 28-year-old has given a clear statement that he hasn't moved up to the 155 weight class to fight the contenders, and his main goal is the title. Topuria shared the glimpse of the remarkable confidence he has on himself, as he believes that he is already the lightweight champion. The Spanish-Georgian fighter said during a recent interview, "I am the lightweight world champion. I wouldn't sign up for a competition without knowing if I am going to win or not, without being sure I will win. No one is at my level." So Topuria thinks he belongs to this division, and this statement from him is a clear warning for everyone in the lightweight division. He wants everyone to stay focused and push themselves further to reach his level. The lightweight champion Islam Makhachev has not accepted this fight so far, but he hasn't ruled it out as well. Topuria also admitted that he is currently preparing for a fight against either the champ Makhachev or former champion Charles Oliveira. He believes they don't want to fight him because of the fear of losing. The Spanish fighter feels apart from Oliveira and Islam. No other fighter in the lightweight division would dare to challenge him.
¿Estás preparándote? ¿Te estás preparando para Islam Makhachev?
Yo me estoy preparando para Islam Makhachev, todos mis entrenamientos realmente están enfocados para Islam o para Charles, porque no veo ningún otro contrincante, así que tengo esos dos nombres en mente. Ninguno de los dos parece atreverse. Luego tienen como frases que hacen suyas de que un campeón pelea con el que le digan y tal y cual, y después de que no quiero pelear con él porque es pequeño, luego cambio de categoría y digo, bueno, soy pequeño, ahora estoy en categoría, luego que no he ganado lo suficiente. Bueno, son síntomas de miedo, todos lo sabemos, pero es normal, yo también tendría miedo.
In another interview, Topuria also admitted that Islam would be a tough opponent, but the former champion has belief in his skills and striking. He has complete confidence that he can submit the Dagestani or knock him out in their potential fight. Ilia Topuria said, "Islam is tough. For me personally, I don't see anything special about him in the strike game. He is tough, but at the same time, I don't know what could make me doubt myself that I won't knock him out or submit him." Furthermore, Ilia Topuria also changed his nickname a few days ago, as the former champion wants to make his lightweight debut with a new identity. Previously, Topuria was known by the name El Matador, but from now on he would use La Leyenda as his nickname, which means the legend in English. On the other hand, there were talks about holding a UFC event in Spain. However, Ilia Topuria is not interested in pursuing an event in his home country. Since Topuria's rise in the UFC, Dana White has continuously hinted that the promotion wants to hold an event in Spain. The UFC recently returned to London for the 6th time since 2020, and the fans want it to be expanded to other parts of the world as well. During a post-fight press conference, UFC executive Dave Shaw provided a big update on the possibilities and concerns of holding an event in Spain. Dave Shaw said, "Dana's talked about UFC Spain quite a bit. Here's the situation with Spain. We've got to find the right destination, and we've talked about it a lot. We're not going to venues that don't have a roof. It doesn't make sense for our athletes and for the product." However, Ilia Topuria has already made it clear that he is no longer interested in pursuing an event in his home country. Revealing the reason behind that strange wish, Topuria thinks that time zone is the biggest issue, and that's why he doesn't want to fight in Spain. Ilia Topuria said, "It's because of the agreement the UFC has with ESPN, the scheduling issue, because if they bring a numbered event to Spain, it would have to be at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. to be prime time on US television. So I don't see it as very feasible to have everyone on their feet at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Topuria didn't want to disturb his people at such a bizarre time, and it would also be difficult for him to fight so early in the morning in Spain. Ilia Topuria added, "Even as an athlete, I don't see myself competing at that time. I already did it once in Abu Dhabi where we had to fight at such a crazy time, and I don't want to do it again, to be honest." The former featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski shared his thoughts about a potential fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. Volkanovski highly rates both fighters, but he thinks Topuria can catch Islam, and it would surely take a lot of effort.
Can Ilia catch him? You know, that's what is, and he definitely can. Ilia's very, especially with his approach. He really backs his strike and his boxing. He really knows that he will eventually find the chin, and he's stoic till that happens. You know what I mean? He is on task, and he doesn't. You know what I mean? He'll go even if things aren't working. He's still going to try and find it. So I think Islam's going to be a tough matchup for him because Islam can be quite defensive and safe. I think he's going to know he needs to play it safe with Ilia because he knows Ilia's going to have that puncher's chance. But I just think them later rounds, you know, is going to be very difficult for Ilia.
Volkanovski said that the only chance for Ilia Topuria to beat Islam is by knocking him out. He thinks Topuria has the skills to knock out anyone, and this is what makes him a tough opponent.
Ilia can, if he puts hands on anyone, like if he traps them, you know, gets them where they don't want to be and lands a nice big shot, it's going to be game over. You know, I mean, he can knock out anyone, even in the lightweight division. But yeah, I just believe that probably would be his only chance, just from what I've seen, right? Like you hear about him having really good grappling, and you hear things, and you won't know till I see that at the highest level. So if he starts out grappling Islam or stop and takedown defense and things like that, then I'm going to be like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing something that I haven't really seen. So now then my opinion might change within the first round. But yeah, I haven't really seen that, so I'm going to go with what I know, and I know he can hit hard.
In another interview with Submission Radio, the 36-year-old said Islam would be the favorite in this fight due to his more well-rounded skill set. Volkanovski also thinks that Ilia Topuria can't be underestimated in any fight, and he has a slight chance to pull off an upset by beating the Dagestani star using his power to knock out his opponents. Volkanovski told Submission Radio, "Islam is really good. I think Islam's very fit. Islam is very safe, but again, Ilia is the type of guy that could knock out anyone. So he's got power in his hands, you know what I mean? Everyone knows that. You go in there fighting him, you know that's his chance of winning. It's usually bad to always bet on someone when they just have a puncher's chance. I feel like you need to show more to be a hot favorite, especially against some like Islam." Renato Moicano, who lost to Islam Makhachev at UFC 311 after accepting the fight at short notice, has shared his thoughts about Islam and Topuria's matchup. He thinks Islam has to accept this fight because he can't move up to the welterweight division because of Belal Muhammad. Moicano thinks Islam will have a tough time against the former featherweight champion.
In Islam's shoes right now, do you think he should fight Ilia because that's what the fans want to see, or do you think this guy should have to prove himself at 55 first?
In my opinion, Islam has one or two defense on the lightweight, and I think he wants to go up. But he cannot fight Belal Muhammad. Islam is like just waiting to see if Belal loses to Jack Della Maddalena, but that's not gonna happen. I don't want to see Islam fighting Gaethje. He lost to Holloway, and Holloway lost to Topuria. Nobody's gonna fight Topuria on the top 5. They're not gonna give him Dustin because Dustin could knock him out, you know, and then go out. Islam, I think he's going to run.
I will make Ilia Topuria against Islam Makhachev.
Meanwhile, it's been almost a month since Topuria entered the lightweight division and is waiting to fight for the title against Islam. While a lot of people think this fight will happen in 2025, Chael Sonnen has a different opinion. The UFC legend believes this fight might not happen this year, and he has a solid reason for that. Sonnen thinks Topuria should test himself against Charles Oliveira first before calling out the champ Islam. The American gangster thinks that Islam versus Topuria is not the biggest fight of 2025, and he wants the fans to accept this fact. Chael Sonnen said, Ilia versus Islam is a completely different fight if Ilia beats Charles first. Ilia versus Islam right now, and I know there are some nut huggers out there that just think that's the biggest fight. It's not. According to Chael Sonnen, Tom Aspinall versus John Jones is the biggest fight of the year. He believes this heavyweight clash is more hyped at the moment, and that's why Islam versus Topuria should be held after a few months of this fight. Chael Sonnen added, the biggest fight of 2025 will be Jones versus Aspinall. So any other fight that you are doing, you need to beat that fight. There's no reason to make a fight if you know it can't be number one. Can we agree on that? You'd have a legitimate shot of beating the Knight of Business Aspinall Jones if you got Topuria one fight first. However, Charles Oliveira recently declined to fight Ilia Topuria as he was more interested in fighting Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title. Oliveira also shared words of acknowledgement for Topuria, but he wants to get back his title first.
Creio que é muitas coisas, muita gente falando muitas coisas, pero estou em busca de título e o campeão hoje é o Ilia Makhachev. Então, Topuria é cara muito duríssimo, merece todo o respeito do mundo, pero hoje no momento não vejo como uma grande luta. E se, como estou em busca de título, né, tenho que lutar com o Makhachev para poder vencer e se tornar campeão mais uma vez.
Ilia Topuria took this statement personally and took a dig at the former champion by mentioning his recent struggles in the octagon. Topuria wrote on his X account, Charles, it's better if you stay quiet. You have 10 losses, 5 by knockout, 4 by submission, and 1 by decision. You are the contender, while I am the champion, the father of the entire division. I haven't come here to ask anything. Here I am the one in charge. Charles Oliveira didn't say any bad words about Topuria, so he was not impressed with such a statement from the former featherweight champion. He responded to this disrespect and showed his disappointment at such bad behavior from Topuria. Charles Oliveira said, I think he's just trying to dig out a fight. He's saying a lot of crap. I really respect his fights, the way he's come up and everything, but he's being very disrespectful now. He's saying a lot of things that he shouldn't. Moreover, Ilia Topuria continues to troll Charles Oliveira because he knows how to make things interesting. During a recent press conference, Topuria made fun of the former champion when asked about going for a walk with Oliveira. He said to skip the questions about Charles as he doesn't consider him worthy to talk about.
Recientemente entrevisté a Charles Oliveira, que es un posible rival tuyo, y él me trasladó que tú quizá no eras una pelea grande y que sobre todo no te podías saltar la fila. Entonces, te voy a hacer la pregunta de la siguiente manera. ¿Te darías un paseo por Toledo con Charles Oliveira y qué opinas de esas palabras que ha dicho?
Que si me daría un paseo con Charles Oliveira, bueno, la verdad que sí, para darle un poco de cultura y enseñarle y darle alguna enseñanza, seguro que sí, porque se ve que no ha leído ni la hoja de un periódico ese chaval. Así que, bueno, otra pregunta por favor, porque esta ocasión no merece la pena para hablar sobre alguien como él.
Former UFC welterweight fighter Matt Brown is excited to witness the highly anticipated clash between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. He can't wait to see La Leyenda taking on the Dagestani sensation. He thinks Topuria deserves to fight for the belt as he is a proven star in the featherweight division. Matt Brown said, I give it to Ilia. We've talked about it, Islam. He'll give resistance to that. He'll try for that not to be the fight. Rightfully enough, I think he should, but I don't feel like anybody else has done anything significant to be just clear. That's why there's 4 of them. Furthermore, Matt Brown acknowledged the performance of the Spanish fighter. He knows that Topuria is already a big star, but he claims that his popularity skyrocketed after he became a UFC champion. According to Brown, Topuria should be given a title shot as soon as he backs him to become a great of this division. Matt Brown added, no one has stuck out so much that you're like, okay, this guy should get the fight. I say give the opportunity to Ilia. Go see if it works for him. If it does, then you have an even more ginormous star in Ilia. Moreover, Jorge Masvidal is highly confident that Ilia Topuria can win the lightweight belt. Despite an Islam Makhachev fan, Masvidal thinks Topuria's remarkable power would be his key weapon to beat the strong guys in the lightweight division. According to Masvidal, the only concern is Topuria's size, as the other lightweights are far bigger than him.
love watching Ilia fight. How do you think he's gonna fare in the lightweight division?
The only thing is his size zone is small for 155. Gonna cause him some trouble, maybe grappling exchanges. But like I said, his power, he hits harder than Islam, I'm telling you. There's a lot of guys that are in the top 5 that he'll walk through. He'll beat like a guy like Gaethje that just won. I think he would flatline Gaethje. He'll put Gaethje in a coma. Islam's gonna be obviously the toughest tester, but if I'm being honest with you, I'd bet the house on Ilia. And I'm a huge Islam fan. Islam is a animal. And one of the very, very best. He's not number 1 pound for pound, he's number 2. But I think Ilia is gonna show the whole world. He can do some rock star shit at that weight class.
Well, this is all we have from today's video, and hopefully you have enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comment section about the competition in the lightweight division. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get instant notifications about our latest videos.